Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and the Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
And I'm Scott.
And we do have phone tutors available on Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout most of the regular school year from 3:30 to 5:30. And if you would like to get a hold of us, Nico, how would somebody do that?
For math homework help, call in Bakersfield 636-4357, toll free 1-888-636-6284. Email dothemath@kern.org or online at dothemathonline.net. And the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Dude, right there.
Well done.
That was awesome.
Yep.
Easy enough to do, right?
Yep.
That's a lot of ways to get a hold of us, though, isn't it?
Yep.
And people are probably going, all right, well, we know Mike and Scott. We see you guys all the time. Who are you? So you're Nico.
Yeah.
Why don't you let everybody know where you go to school and what grade you're in?
I'm in 4th grade and I go to Stockdale Elementary School.
All right. Now, you've been at Stockdale since kindergarten?
Yes.
You like it?
Yeah.
What's the best thing? Because now you go to school longer now that you're in 4th grade.
Yeah.
But is there anything else? I know you like going to school longer, but is there anything else you like better about 4th grade than past years?
We get to do like social studies and we get to have like science and stuff.
So you like those other topics that you study,
Yeah.
right? Social studies and stuff. Have you done anything yet?
Yeah, we did like we're making an art project and we're coloring like stuff.
Oh, good. How's the math going?
Good.
What kind of things are you guys working on right now in 4th grade?
We're working on like bigger numbers, least to greatest, and stuff like that.
So you're working with big numbers. What do you mean like big numbers?
Big numbers like the 100,000s and the millions.
And then you have to put them in order?
Yeah.
Ah, excellent. Head on over to the board. I'll get some numbers for you now,
There we
young
go.
man.
Let's compare
All
some
right,
numbers.
so maybe we'll have Scott write them up on top so that they're up out of the way, and then you can manipulate them however you like.
Okay.
All right, so Nico, why don't you give us the first one? What's one big number you would like to start with? And tell it to Scott, he'll write it.
I can write it for you.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you got?
117,000.
117,000.
526.
Whoa, 526. All right, so we're talking about an annual salary, right?
Yeah. Not for anybody in this room, I don't think. All right, so let's make another number. Scott, why don't you choose one?
Okay, I want to do 117,265.
I'm going to do 117,555.
Oh, I like that one too.
Nico, another one.
Oh.
That's okay. Oh, there you go, good. What is this number?
116,517.
Good job.
All right, so we've got 4 of them up there.
Yes.
And I would like you to put them in order. Now, do you usually do it least to greatest?
Least to greatest, yeah.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to expand your horizons. We're going to go greatest to least.
Okay.
All right?
All right, so when we look at those, tell me a little bit about what's going on in your head. What are you looking at first to know which one is the biggest number of all of them?
I'm thinking this one.
Okay, why are you thinking that one?
Because
I mean, the ones are the same, right? Everything
Yes,
has a 1,
so-
and the next one's the same, so which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at these numbers.
Yeah, those numbers over there, okay. Well, what about this number, though? This number is 6, so this is a little bit less, right?
Yes.
But which of these numbers, hundreds, tens, ones, which of those numbers tells you that that one is the biggest?
These.
Okay, yeah. Show me which one specifically. Which 5 are you looking at here? Because if you look at this 5, right, we have this 5 here and we have that 5 there. How do you know which one's bigger?
Because
Because? I think you're right. I just want to know what's going on in your head.
This 5 is bigger than these two, but
Good for you.
the 6 is bigger than 5. So
Yeah, but we just want to compare these 5s, though. So I think where you're going is exactly right. This has a 5, that has a 5, but we're going to look at this next one right here, right?
yes,
And since this 5 is bigger than that too, why don't you go ahead and write that number over here? This is the biggest one. Write that on top. 117,555. 117. That's okay. 555.
You can keep writing. That'll go away.
There you go. Good. So we know that's the biggest one. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cross it off. We got that one.
'Kay.
Which one is the next biggest one? Or do you have a different strategy?
I use the strategy on just looking at the numbers, and then I would do them in. I would round them. And then and then I would see if they're. I would round these,
Okay.
and then I would see which was the next biggest.
So rounding can help you too as well. I totally agree with that. I also like the fact that before, when you looked at this one as the biggest one, right? They had these two 5s, and you
Yeah.
know this one is bigger than that one.
Yeah.
But these two numbers, they were fighting it out for the number 1 spot,
Yeah.
right? Since we know that's number 1, which one do we know is number 2 now?
This one.
That one up there. That's right. So you can write that right underneath there. 117,526. Good. Okay, so we know first place and second place.
Yes.
All right, so we got those ones. We'll cross that one off. We don't need that one anymore. In fact, I'll go ahead and move this down a little bit. We only have 2 numbers left to be able to look at,
Yes.
and that's this one and that one. Now what are you looking at? How are you going to compare those? Which one is bigger and which one's smaller?
Well, if you round these, this one would have been probably the most. So this is the number.
Now, if you were going to round that, I like the idea of rounding. If you were going to round that, what place value would you round it to? The 1s, the 10s, the 100s, the 1000s? How would you round that number?
The 100,000s.
The 100,000s. Wow, okay. So if you rounded this one to the 100,000s, what would you get? Just tell me and I'll write it down.
100,000.
That's right. Good. This will be 100,000. If you rounded this one to the 100,000s, what would you get?
100,000.
100,000. So rounding is a good strategy sometimes, but in this case, it wouldn't really help us out a whole lot to know which one's bigger, right?
Yes.
Unless you round it to a different place. Is there a different place value you might want to round to?
Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
The thousands.
The thousands. Okay, so if we rounded the thousands instead of this one, if you rounded this one to the thousands, what would you get?
That one, 7,000, 10,000.
This 7 right here, right? The 2 is going to help you round. So does the 2 round the 7 up or stay the same?
Stay the same.
Stay the same, that's right. So this one's 117, and everything else changes to zeros, 117,000. What if we rounded this one to the nearest thousands?
And it goes up.
The 5
Goes
helps
to
you.
5.
So then this one would be 117,000 as well. We're still stuck because it looks like if you round them, then they're both going to end up being the same number. So in this specific kind of problem, maybe rounding isn't the best idea. Maybe we just want to compare and not round so much because we're getting the same answer over and over. So if you were going to compare this number here and this number here, which one is bigger and why?
117,000 because
Is
7 is bigger than
There we go.
6.
So now we're just comparing and not rounding so much, right? This 7 in the thousands place is bigger than this 6 in the thousands place,
Yes.
right? So number 3, our number 3 number, is this one up here, 117,265. Write that down, please. Good. And number 4?
Is this number.
Yep. That's it. I really like what you did there. Good work. Solid.
There you go. Perfectly done. Nicely done, guys. All right, come on over here, Nico. Sky, you can erase the board.
Okay.
Do remember we have phone tutors available from 3:30 to 5:30 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Time now to take a look at today's Math in the News. All right, today's Math in the News happens to deal with something we all love, food. In studio, we have Michelle. Now, Michelle, why don't you explain to everybody where you work and what your title is?
I work for the Kern County Public Health Services Department, and I am the public relations officer, but I also am the manager of the Waste Hunger Not Food program.
So the first part, what do you do with that?
So I have the privilege of talking to the media and the community about different health issues or environmental health issues that would be impacting our residents. You know, things like it's time to get your flu shot. Those kinds of things are what I get to talk to the community about. And really it's to protect their health and safety is something that I get to be a part of, and I love my job.
And you traveled throughout Kern County to do this?
Yes.
Okay. And you were a little bit worried about whether or not you were going to make it here on time. Where were you today?
Yes, I was out in Taft. And I'm really excited because as part of the Waste Hunger Not Food program, we launched that program in Taft today. So we are really excited. It's the first time we've left the greater Bakersfield area and gone out to an outlying area. So we are thrilled to have Taft City School District as part of the Waste Hunger Not Food program.
So we can see some photos. So this is your
Yes.
public health building right there.
This is our public health building. Those are the 3 vans we use to go to rescue the food at the schools. This is our Waste Hunger Not Food team, our drivers, and you can see we have an apple and a milk that are our mascots, and we have a lot of fun rescuing this food.
Oh, good. I'm glad you told me that was an apple, because at first with it all like that, I thought we were going in a different
Yeah.
direction there. But okay. So, an apple and milk.
Yes.
You're the public relations person. Mm-hmm. You came up with those 2.
Well, yes,
Okay.
partially, and my team.
Right, because at lunches in
Yes.
schools, all of the kids are given milk.
Yes.
And usually they have a fruit or a vegetable. Usually it's
Exactly.
an apple.
Yes.
Now, how long have you been working to get this program in Taft?
Well, for example, we launched in Bakersfield, the greater Bakersfield area. It's been a year ago, September 10th.
Because you were here last year when we started
I was here
this.
last year. So we have been working for the last couple of months with Taft to get it up and running in a more rural area, because we had to do some different things to get it going there. So we're very excited. But we launched a year ago, and we're growing very quickly.
Well, that's good to hear, because I know that in schools, there's a lot of us that see kids just dump things.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's painful to see
It is.
when a student barely touches that food.
It is.
And it just automatically goes in the trash.
Yes.
Nico, do you have any questions for Michelle?
How can my school be involved?
That is such a good question. What school are you at?
Stockdale Elementary School.
Okay. We have a website. So we have a website. It's called Waste Hunger Kern County. And we want anyone to go to our website to learn about how they can get involved if they want to donate food, or if they want to learn how to find the food so that if they're hungry, they can know where to go get this delicious food for free. So wastehungerkerncounty.com.
All right, so that might be something you can bring up to your principal or maybe your teacher at school and see if you guys can start something like that.
Yes.
All right. Now, Michelle, you know that you are on Do the Math.
Yes.
So are you ready to do a math problem?
No.
I'm only kidding. Calm down. I didn't want your heart rate to spike there.
No, I love math. I do. I do.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of the numbers that you brought in here. So we'll
Okay.
go ahead and put those up on the screen, and then, Michelle, you can talk about these as they're up there.
So we're so excited. Like I said, we launched a year ago. So as of today, we have rescued over 388,000 pounds of food. What's exciting about that is that equates to 310,923 meals saved. That means food that has been rescued. That's how much food we are turning around, and that equates to that amount of meals we're providing to the community for free.
Okay, so I'm sure some people are wondering, okay, so you get the food. So what food exactly are you getting, and how do you prepare it so
Yes.
it goes to somebody else?
Absolutely. So we work primarily with schools, but we also work with restaurants and markets. So food, 40% of food in America is thrown away. It's just thrown in the trash. So we are rescuing this uneaten food. And in schools, it's a lot of prepackaged foods, like packages of carrots, whole fruits, milks that haven't been opened. So rather than the children putting those in the trash can, they're putting them in a milk crate that is then being rescued by one of the 3 refrigerated vans that our Waste Hunger team drives. And then it is taking it to one of 40 churches in our community, and those churches are immediately distributed into neighborhoods that need it the most.
Good. So let's take a look at some of the numbers that you have here.
So the exciting part is we are preventing food from going to the landfill. And so we are reducing the production of greenhouse gas by 404 metric tons of CO2 equivalent, which importantly is equal to 87 vehicles being removed from the road. So we're helping the environment. That's good, right?
Yeah.
And we currently have 43 schools that are donating food, again, otherwise would have just put in the trash, 11 markets and restaurants for a total of 54 donor sites that are contributing to the Waste Hunger Not Food program, and we're working with 40 churches currently through an infrastructure called CityServe.
So you've got 43 schools and 11 other businesses.
Yes.
How many did you start with? Like as soon as it started, how many did you have?
We had 5 schools through the Bakersfield City School District, and you can see how much we've grown in just one year.
So when you were here last year, you started it off. You had 5.
Yes.
Now you're up to 43.
Yes.
So when you come back next year, if we look at that same rate of growth,
Yes.
We need to do a ratio problem.
yeah,
We do.
5 to 43 would be, that's quite a percentage increase right there.
Yes.
Anyway, we do appreciate you taking out some time coming to tell us about
Thank you.
waste, hunger, not
Not
food.
food.
Nicely done. Hey, just a reminder, we do have homework help here for you. Phone tutors are available between 3:30 and 5:30 most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. We will possibly be going out to do some robot rumble in a little bit, but right now we're going to work Nico a little bit.
Okay.
So Nico, back to the board there, young man.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
And this is something that I'd like you to work on. Now, you said that you can multiply,
Yes.
you can divide,
Yes.
you can add,
Yes.
you can subtract.
Yes.
This is a classic problem. Scott already knows probably where I'm going with this. And what grade are you in?
4.
Ah, here we go.
Okay.
4 fours, if you do, please, sir.
Problem of the 4s. Love this one. This is fun.
This is a beautiful problem,
Yep.
suitable for all kids of any ages.
Yep.
Nico, I would like you to select a number between 0 and 10. Or actually, yeah, let's leave it at 0. 0 and 10, pick a number.
5.
All right, so at the end, put equals 5. Now, here are the rules. You have to use those 4 fours. Okay, you can't use any other numbers. You may put symbols in between them. Add, subtract, multiply, divide.
Okay.
If you know about parentheses, you can use those.
Okay.
If you know about square roots, you can use those. If you know about factorial, you can use those. But I'm assuming you're not going to know all of those right now.
Nope.
So we'll just keep it simple. You can put any math computation in between the 4 fours. But it has to work so that when you do it in order, it comes out to equal 5.
Okay.
So I want you to work with Scott, give him some ideas on how you think you should start this out.
All right.
All right?
Okay. What do you think? So obviously we can't use all addition signs, right? Because 4 plus 4 plus
Yeah.
4 plus 4 would be too much to 16.
Yeah.
Right? And you couldn't use all subtraction signs because you'd end up going below 0.
Yes.
4 minus 4 is 0, and you keep going down from
Yeah.
there.
Negative.
And if you went every other, you could do 4 plus 4, that's 8. Minus 4 is 4. Plus 4 is 8. Right? So that wasn't work either. So we have to find out some way to be able to do this so that we get 5 at the end. Interesting, huh? Let's try a couple things. Just see what happens. We can always erase it and go back. Any ideas? You want to use multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. We'll just try one of them and see where we can go from there.
Let's do minus.
Okay, so go ahead and do minus first. Okay, so stop right there. 4 minus 4,
Is 0.
0. Okay, so won't even look at that anymore. That's gone. Is there any way you can make 5 out of 4 and 4?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. So maybe the negative won't work out so well. There could be, but maybe that doesn't work out so well. Try something else.
So plus
Okay. Okay, so 4 plus 4?
8.
That's 8. Now, how would we get to 5? 8? How would you get down to 5?
8 minus
Minus. You would have to minus how many?
4.
Well, a little bit higher than that, or a little bit less than that. Because 8 minus 4 would be 4. 8 minus
Oh, 2.
3, right? 8 minus 3 would be 5, right?
Yeah.
So is there a way we can get these two 4s to be 3? Because if you had 8 and you did minus that, it would be 5. Can you make 4 something 4 be 3?
No.
That's a tough problem, isn't it? Want to ask Mr. Kushan if he has any suggestions for us?
Do you have any successes, Mr. Kushine?
Well, of course I do, but I'd like you to keep on working for it a little bit. So what I'd like you to do is think about, so you've tried just adding and subtracting right away, okay? Try, because if you go divide, first off, you're going to get 4 divided by 4 is 1. And then you need to add 4, which you could do, but you have an extra 4.
Yeah.
So you know that dividing first won't work. So try multiplying the first 2 4s and see where you can go from there.
Okay. All right, here we go. Ready? So that's 16.
That's 16.
Right.
Minus 4
16 minus 4 is what?
is 12.
12. And then can you do something else with the other 4 to make a 5?
No.
Dang, well, let's try this. What if this wasn't a minus 4? What else could you put there?
Divide.
You could be divide, but that would just kind of cancel out the
Well,
multiplication.
let us do it.
side.
I want to see what his thought process is. Let's go through this.
We can try. So 4 times 4,
16.
Okay, and
16
then divided by
4
4.
is 4.
4, you're back to 4.
Oh.
What else? What else could you put there?
Minus?
You could, we tried that. What else?
Oh, plus.
Let's do a plus. Okay, here we go. 4 times 4,
16.
16, plus 4,
20.
20. This is looking good. So how do we make 20 into 5?
Divided.
Oh, look at that. Okay, ready? Let's try one more time just to make sure we're okay. 4 times 4 is
16.
16. 16 plus 4 is
16 plus 4 is 20.
20. And 20 divided by 4 is?
5.
Ah, look at that. Nice job.
There
It
you
is
go.
possible.
See, that takes a little bit of work, but you've got it, right?
Yeah.
And that's order of operations, right?
Right.
Now, technically, we could get 17 out of that.
True.
So, Scott, show how we would get 17 and what we need to do to that problem to make it work the way you guys just said it through.
Okay, sounds good.
'Kay.
So do you know anything about the order of operations, Nico?
No.
Okay, the order of operations says that when you have a problem with multiplication and addition and division and all kinds of stuff going on there, that the multiplication and division come first, and then you do the addition. So if we were going to follow the order of operations here, okay, we would do the multiplication first, and then we would do the division. So let's see what we would actually get. What's 4 times 4?
16.
That's it. And then our next step would be, what's 4 divided by 4?
1.
1. And then we would add them together. What would you get? 16 plus 1?
17.
17. That's not what we want. We want 5.
Yeah.
So what do we need to do to make sure we go a little bit, to go in the order that we want to go in? Do we want to do the multiplication first?
No.
No? I thought that's what we did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we want to do that first. Yeah. So we are okay with that part. So I don't think we need to mess with that.
Okay.
And then what do we want to do after the 16? You remember what we did?
Plus.
We did the plus next, that's right. So here's how we change that. Instead of jumping over to the division part, we can put some grouping symbols around here. We can put parentheses around there. And what that says is, let's do everything in the parentheses first, everything in this group, and then at the very end, we'll do the division.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think that works. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 4,
Is 20.
20, and then divided by 4,
Is 5.
5. So the order of operations is really important when you're doing some problems like this. And if you want to make a different order of operations, you can use grouping symbols.
Yes.
Okay, kind of cool deal, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would happen if we had grouping symbols around a different part of this problem? Okay, that was where we wanted those ones to be for that problem to get 5. But what if I put parentheses around here?
So 4 plus
Now remember, what do you do first in this problem?
times.
And divide, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 divided by 4,
Is 1.
1. And then what's 4 plus 1?
4 plus 1 is 5.
5. So we get 5 here. And then at the very end, you do 4 times 5,
20.
and that'd be 20. So you see, wherever you put those parentheses, it gives you a different answer.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to make sure you remember, can you put those parentheses back where they belong? Do you remember where they're supposed to go?
Yes.
Okay, show me. There and there. Good job, yeah. So that's going to make our 5. And if we were looking for a different number, you know, like 8 or whatever we happen to be, we might be able to move them around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice job.
Yeah.
I think you learned a little something there.
Nicely done, boys. Nicely done. All right, go ahead and erase the board.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, 4 4s if you suit, please.
Aha! Here we go.
You, buddy, back to the board. You're not.
Come on,
Okay.
Nico. This is the funnest problem you've ever done.
Now we're going to put equals.
Okay.
Nico, how old are you?
I'm 9.
Ah, there we go.
Here we
Now
go.
you've got the idea, right?
Yes.
You might have to group some things. So think about how you can get to 9. Go.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I have it.
Oh, wow, already. He's feeling confident. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and put my pen behind my back then, and you can do it. You think you have it already? What are you going to do first?
Times.
Okay. Times. What's 4 times 4?
16.
16, okay. We got to get back to 9, huh? So we're going to have to go down. 16 minus 4, what's that?
It's 16 minus 4 is 12.
12. Can you get back to 9? Still got to
No.
go lower. Oh, man. I like the idea, though. And you were feeling awfully confident. Something to be said for confidence in math. What else do you want to try?
Was the times right?
It could be. It could be. But I think we want to go in a different direction. Now, think about this. We have all even numbers here, right?
Yes.
And at the end, we end up with an odd number. Right? 9 is an odd number.
Yes.
Is there any way that we can change even numbers to odd numbers? It's kinda weird.
Parentheses.
We could use from parentheses, sure, yeah. But what kind of symbol would you like to use?
Symbol.
How about this? Here's an interesting question for you. What are the multiples of 4? In other words, when you multiply 4 times 1, you get 4. 4 times 2?
4 times 8.
8. 4 times 3?
4 times 3 is 12.
12. 4 times 4?
16.
16. 4 times 5?
4 times 5 is 20.
So these are called multiples of 4. Which one of those is closest to 9?
8.
8. So do you think we can get an 8? Then we'd be at least we know we'd be really close, right?
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Okay, how do we get 8?
8 we plus.
Okay, give us a plus. Good. Okay, so we got the 8.
Yes.
All right, so if we could just make these two 4s right here, if you could just make those into 1, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, then we could do it. How do you make them into 1? There we go. So 4 plus 4 is 8.
8.
4 divided by 4 is 1.
1.
What do you
8
do now?
plus 1
What goes in here?
plus.
Okay, let's do it. All right, so now, I'm gonna erase my little circle here. Let's make sure with what we just learned about order of operations that this problem will actually work. So when you look at this problem, which part do you have to do first? Well, what comes first? Multiplication or
Division.
division. So we have to do this part first, right? This is number 1. And then which one would you do? Then we go back here, right? Good.
Yes.
And then the last one
3.
would be here. Okay. So what's 4 divided by 4?
4 divided by 4 is 1.
1. And then we go back over here. What's 4 plus 4?
4 plus 4 is 8.
8. And then 8 plus 1?
Is 9.
9. Do we need grouping symbols in this problem?
No.
No, we don't.
Nope.
Mr. Kushine, I'm thinking maybe you might want to have him do a problem where we could move these symbols around a little bit.
Well, perhaps we'll do that later on. But you guys have done some great work right now. Nico, for your great work, we're going to send you home with a couple of tickets to the Bakersfield Condor. So congratulations on that. And I know that today was, a lot of people were looking forward to the Robot Rumbles today. This is one of the new things that we had coming up with Do the Math this year. And we have the Robot Rumbles going on out at AC Electric. And when we're able to, we will bring you the results and some of that Robot Rumble in some future programs of Do the Math. But for now, we'll be back right after this. Today we're at South Fork Middle School, home of the Mustangs, and we're here to All right, once again, we're with the 6th grade students at South Fork Middle School, and we've been doing a little bit of work with reflections, and you guys saw how doing a horizontal fold was different than a diagonal fold, and one seemed to be a little bit more difficult, or it took a little bit longer to figure out how to make those points match up. Now, because you guys have said you've played Battleship before, this is a little something like that also. Have you worked with a coordinate plane before?
No.
I dare say you have. Maybe you just don't recognize the name. So I'll do it first, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to estimate. I'm going to look about the middle of the paper here, and I'm going to draw a line across the middle. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to estimate where the middle is going on the other direction and draw a line. So now what I want you guys to do is divide your paper up like that. Okay, so just kind of estimate where the center is. Draw a line down it, and then draw a line across. Once you've done that, do you know what you have?
Horizontal plane.
And you have a horizontal and a vertical line. You have a coordinate plane now. Okay, so when you're working with like a page like this, that's what it is. So when you have played Battleship before, you've always played in one quadrant. Everything was positive. Okay, now have you guys worked with X and Y axis before?
No.
Have you plotted points on a graph?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, well, big day for you. We're gonna refresh you on that, okay? So, the point right in the middle, do you guys remember what that point in the middle is called? It has a term for it. The origin. All right, that is 0, 0. All right, so what I want you to do is just make a mark right in the center, dot right on that, right in the center. Okay, that's point 0, 0. Now the x-axis is the one that is going horizontal across. Okay, if we start at 0 right here and we go across to 1, we go over 1 square, that's a positive 1. All right, if I go over 5 on this line, what is that?
Positive 5.
It's positive 5. Okay, now if I go in an upward direction on the y-axis, okay, so let's say I put a point right here, okay? I've gone over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've gone up 1, 2, 3. So the point is 5, 3. Have you guys ever worked with things like that before?
I have.
Where you plot points?
Yep.
So that point is 5, 3. So you put the x-axis first, the 5, how far you want to cross in either direction, and then the y-axis is represented with the second number. Now let's say I went down. What would that be?
Negative.
It would be negative, all right? So here's all I want you to do right now, is I want you to, in this quadrant only, where all the numbers are positive, what I want you to do is I want you to make 3 points. So don't put them in the center of a square. Put them where the lines intersect, all right? And you can put them anywhere in this quadrant you want, okay? So just make 3 points.
Can you do it with colored pencil?
You can do a colored pencil, regular pencil, it's up to you. Once you make your 3 points, now what I want you to do is I want you to label them. Okay, so remember we're starting at 0, 0. All right? So count across wherever your first point is. That's going to be your X number. And then count up how many lines you went. That's your Y number. So go ahead and then you plot the point. You write it like that. You put it in parentheses with a comma between them. So count across and then count up. Now, based on what we did the first 2 lessons with reflection, do you have any idea what I want you to do now with those 3 points?
Yeah.
No idea.
Reflection?
There you go. We have a winner. All right. So what I'd like you to do, okay, so here's mine. So you're going to take the 3 points you made, right, and I want you to put them on the other quadrant in exactly the same spot, but watch how you label it now, because it's no longer 5, 3, it's negative 5, 3. And the 6th grade students at South Fork Middle School working on reflection and symmetry once again, this time with an X and the Y axis, plotting points. And again, thanks to all the staff and students at South Fork Middle School. We had an excellent time while we were out there. Great problems to work with the kids, and the kids were excellent to work with. We do have homework help. Phone tutors are available between 3:30 and 5:30 most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. And if your school has not received them yet, let's go ahead and put this up on the screen. These are examples of the stickers that your school will receive for all of the students. And on that sticker has all of the information as far as when you can call, where, phone numbers, websites, things like that. So if you don't receive them in the next week or two, simply give us a call here at the studio and we'll send you more out to your school. All right, you ready to take a break?
Yep.
Yeah, you've been doing some work. Right now we're going to go to the phones. Ruby, how are you today? Hello, Ruby.
Hello.
You're in 7th grade, correct?
Yes.
All right. How is 7th grade going? Because I know we talked a lot last year in 6th grade. How is 7th grade?
It's going great.
It's going. What's so great about it?
The people,
Oh,
the
good.
teachers.
Well, that's good to hear. You've met a lot more people this year now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you happy going to a different class for every subject?
Very happy about it.
Oh, good. Well, what kind of math are you working on right now?
Integers.
All right. Is that what you're going to do with us right now or something different?
Yes.
All right. Let's hear it when you're ready.
The question, or well, the problem is negative 12.4 plus 9.2 plus 1.
Wow, Ruby, good question. All right, well, we definitely have some integers here. Well, that's not true. We have positive and negative numbers here, but we have some numbers that also have decimals in them, right? Where do you want to start on this kind of problem? What would you do first?
Add the positive numbers,
Oh, good idea. Okay, so which numbers in this problem are positive?
9.2 and 1.
All right, so you're saying we're going to add those two together first. Okay. Now, we talked about order of operations a little bit earlier in the show. Is it okay to add the numbers at the end of the problem, even though they're out of order as far as left to right? Is it okay to add those together first?
Depending on the problem, but in this situation, yes.
Yeah, because you have two positive numbers there. I like how you did that. So what's 9.2 plus 1?
10.2.
Okay. I'm glad you didn't say 9.3. That's good. So the problem now reads negative 12.4 plus 10.2. Now what do we do?
Combine negative 12.4 with 10.2.
Gotcha. So when you say combine, what are we going to do to these numbers?
The bigger, so usually you do the number with the higher absolute value first,
Uh-huh.
and you subtract the lower number from that number.
Gotcha. Okay, I like how you said that. So you're saying if we could take the absolute value of these two numbers, then we can subtract them together. So what's the absolute value of negative 12.4?
12.4.
That's it, 12.4. And the absolute value is the distance from 0, so you just take off the negative. Good job. What's the absolute value of 10.2?
Negative 10.2.
Almost. The deal is that these numbers are, we want to know how far are they away from the number 0. And since it's a distance, they're always positive, okay? So you made the negative into a positive, but if it's positive, it just stays positive, okay? So we have 10.2 there. And then you said, what do we do with those two absolute values now? I really like this method that you're talking about here. What do we do with 12.4 and 10.2?
You take the one with the higher value, and you would subtract the lower value one from the higher one.
Gotcha. So we're going to subtract these two, 12.4 minus 10.2. What do you get there?
Negative 2.2.
Okay, so I like what you said there. We got 2.2. Hold off on the negative just for a second because we're not dealing with negatives yet, right? We're going to go ahead and put that back in a minute. But 12.4 minus 10.2 is 2.2, so we're going to have an answer of 2.2. Now you said that we have a negative. Where did the negative come back in this problem?
From the higher, the number with the higher value.
So if you look at 12.4 and 10.2 and you weren't looking at any signs at all, you'd say, hey, 12.4 is bigger. And so first of all, that goes on top of the subtraction problem. And secondly, you're going to use this sign of the bigger number, the one with the bigger absolute value. I really like the way you said that. So since the 12.4 is negative, that means our answer is going to be negative. Now here's something that I do with my students sometimes. Before we do any of this absolute value stuff at all, I do exactly what you say, but I do it first. And I say, which number has the biggest absolute value? That's 12.4. What is the sign of that number? It's negative. And before I do any math at all, I go down to the bottom of the page or on the right-hand side, and I put the negative down so you don't have to worry about the sign anymore. I'm glad you picked it up at the end, though. That also works. Nice problem there. That worked out good. Negative 2.2. Good job.
Thank you, Ruby. And glad to hear that 7th grade and junior high are going so well. Because of your effort today, we're going to send you a free meal courtesy of our friends at Chick-fil-A. So congratulations on that. How do you feel about positive and negative numbers?
Good.
Feel positive about them?
No.
Well, you will soon. Back to the board, young man.
Darn it.
Ah, here we go.
All right. So, as you can see, you're going to be dealing with positive and negative numbers for a long time.
Yes.
Actually, for the rest of your life. Okay? So, Scott, choose any positive or negative number. We're not going to do any decimals, fractions, things
Okay.
like that, just integers.
Okay. How about positive 6?
Positive 6. And then put a comma.
Okay.
Nico, positive or negative number?
Positive.
Positive
one?
what?
4.
4. Okay.
Negative 18.
Negative 18.
Scott, your turn.
Okay. Negative 3.
Nico, your turn.
Positive.
Positive what?
1.
1. Okay.
Positive 11.
Positive 11. All right.
All right. Now, Nico, what I'd like you to do is work with Scott, and I want you to evaluate that. If you had to put all of those numbers together
Yes.
and tell me what one answer is going to be, when you put all of those together, how would you like to do it?
Wow.
There's a lot of ways to do
We're
it.
going to add them all together?
Right, you're going to
Okay.
combine them all together. You're going to, I don't know if it's positive or negative. We just made them all up right now.
Yeah.
And once you're through, then I'll see if Scott has another strategy for you, and then I might have another one for you. So you have a lot of different ways to combine those numbers to add them together. All right? But let's hear what you want to do first.
What do you want to do first?
Add.
Okay. We could add them together. Now, which numbers are you going to add together? Because some of them are positive and some of them are negative.
6 and 4.
Okay. So we'll add these ones together. What do you get there?
10.
Okay. Is this 10 a positive or a negative number?
It is a positive.
Okay. What else do you want to do?
Minus 18, 3.
Okay. What do you want to do with that?
18 minus 3
Okay.
is 15.
Okay. And positive or negative?
Negative.
Okay. Now here's a little bit of a problem that we have. These two numbers here were positive, right?
Yes.
And you added them together because they're like on the same team, right? They're on the positive team.
Yeah.
These two numbers are negative, but you subtracted them. They're on the same team also.
Oh.
So we want to add them together, right?
Yeah.
I heard that you are a sports guy.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
So here is a super fun way to do positive and negative numbers. And I'm going to let you do the problem, but I'm going to give you a strategy, okay?
Okay.
So this is a ball game, okay? All these numbers are playing in this ball game. And we have the positive team and we have the negative team. Okay.
Good. This is exactly where I wanted you to go.
Good.
So
Good.
this
Yeah,
is
this is a fun
perfect.
one, especially
All
if
right.
you're a sports guy. Ready?
Yes.
So the positive team scored 6 points. Put that down there.
Dots?
Just 6. No, 6 points. They scored 6. Just put a 6 over there somewhere. Good. Then the positive team scored 4 points. Put the 4 over there. No, the positive team, see? Good. There you go. And we'll erase that one. Then the negative team, they scored 18 points. So don't write the negative part, just write 18 on the negative side.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Then the negative team scored 3 points. So put 3 on the negative side. Okay, we'll put a little comma here so we know it's a little different. Then the positive team scored
Plus 1.
1, and then the positive team scored
11.
11. So here's what we want to know. We want to know who won and what the score is. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So how many runs or how many points or how many goals did the positive team score? What's their total score?
So we add them all?
Add them all together, sure.
Okay.
6 plus 4.
6 plus 4 is 10.
Good. 10 plus 11. Can you do that one?
10 plus 11. 10 plus 11?
Yeah.
21.
21. Plus one more?
21. I mean, 22.
22. Okay, so the positive team, they scored 22 points. How many points did the negative team score?
21.
21. So here we go. Here's how you do this problem. Ready? Who won the game?
The positive
The
side.
positive team. So your answer is positive. How much did they win by?
1.
1. There's your answer. Isn't that a fun way to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it because then it's just like a sports game and you know how to do that. There's nothing new for me to teach you.
Nope.
You just got to go, who won and how much did they win by?
1.
That's
way to do
the
it, huh?
easy way to do it. Make yourself a little diagram like that.
Yeah.
All right. Erase the board.
Okay.
Now, hotshot, make your diagram. Positive and negative. Make your little
make
chart.
your scoreboard.
So,
Right? Make a scoreboard. We'll give you numbers in a minute. That'll work. Just
So
make it like a little
positive
T
on
like
one
this,
side.
right?
Oh.
Positive over there. Positive. Put a plus sign. And negative over there, right? This is the positive team. This is the negative team.
yeah.
All right. So I'm going to rattle off some numbers. Scott, you write them down.
Sure.
Positive 7.
7.
Well, no. I want you
Oh.
to write them up top. Don't just fill them in for them. We're going to make this too easy for them. Positive 7, positive 6. Negative 10, negative 4. Positive 3, negative 4. All right, Nico, evaluate that.
Okay. And this time my pen goes away.
Okay.
Okay.
Add these 2.
Okay, hold on. Let's use our strategy, okay? Let's go back to our team thing. Let's use what you just learned, otherwise you might forget.
Okay.
So let's not add anything yet. Just put them in the right places. 7 for the positive team, 6 for the positive team, good. 10 for the negative team, good for you. 4 for the negative team. 3 for the positive team.
And 4.
4 for the negative team. Good. I'm going to move this up just a little bit so we can kind of see it. Oh, there you go. Good. So, how many did the positive team score? Let's draw a big line at the bottom. Good. How many did the positive team score?
16.
16. Okay. 7 plus 6 plus 3. Good. How many did the negative team score?
18.
18. Okay, so here's our final answer. Ready? Over here on the side.
2.
Hold on. We're getting there. Almost there. Which team won first?
Negative side.
Good. So put a negative sign. Negative. Good. And how much did they win by?
2.
There you go. That's it. I almost think you learned something there. Nice job.
There you go. Nicely done. Positive and negative numbers are going to be a friend of yours for the rest of your life.
That's right.
Hey, we do have phone tutors available until 5:30. Nico, in 2 years, you might have an opportunity to go to Camp Keep, just like these kids did. Well, today we're at Montaña de Oro State Park and we're at Camp Keep.
Yeah.
And right now we've got Elizabeth with us. And first of all, explain what your role is here at Camp Keep.
Well, I'm the program supervisor, so I'm the boss of Camp Keep, and that's my job.
And how long have you been the boss of Camp Keep?
Well, I've been here for 13 years, but I've worked for Kern County Schools for 22. And so it's just been a wonderful, wonderful role that I've had.
Now you've been, so the boss of Camp Keep, was that your role all the time or did you start doing something else?
I started as a naturalist back in '96, and then I was promoted to lead naturalist at our other campus, Keep Cambria at the time. And then I moved here about 13 years ago as lead naturalist, and then when the former supervisor retired, that became my job.
And it's been home ever since.
It has been.
So you've been enjoying the whole time.
I love this job. It's
And
fabulous.
It must be great because you see a lot of students coming in, very enthusiastic, and they learn a lot when they leave.
They do, and they start from, some have never seen the ocean, some have never had an outdoors experience, some have never spent the week away from home, and by the end of the week they've transformed.
Right.
And they have grown both academically and emotionally, and they have just, their lives have changed.
So when a student arrives at Camp Keep, they get off the bus, what is the first thing they do? I mean, obviously they notice the dome and the trailers and things like that, but what the first thing they do when they get off the bus?
I think the first thing they do is, as they step off, they look around at this very different school and they just say, wow. And then the second thing is they go to the bathroom.
A long trip, right?
Yeah.
So obviously they must be broken into some groups.
They do. So after lunch, we break them into their cabin groups and they move into their little trailers where they're going to live for the week. We break them into their hiking groups, and our hiking groups are a little different, usually a mix of some people they know, some people they don't know as well. And then they go on a tour of campus and learn how the rules work and where things are and how they're going to get through the week.
Okay, and then when does all of the learning start? Because they're obviously learning things while they're here
Right.
on their own, but
Well,
as far
you
as
know,
the Keep
program goes.
That very first hike, they're introduced to the basic science concepts of ecosystems and interconnectedness. And they have a little taste of what the bigger hikes will be like. They learn how to use scientific tools like binoculars. They learn how to make observations, and they get their science journal that they're going to work in all week. But the real focus of the learning starts that night at the evening activity. We have a program that is about how scientists journal and how scientists take field notes, because they'll be doing that all week long. So we introduce that to them on the very first night.
Okay, and I know a lot of students are well prepared in class when they come over.
Yeah, some
And then you guys
teachers
expand on that?
some teachers do an amazing job preparing, but some kids don't get a lot of science. Their schools might be focused on other curriculum areas,
Okay.
and this really is their only science experience of 5th or 6th grade, which is a little bit, you know, it's a challenge, but it's also a responsibility that we have for them. Some kids come and they are fully prepared. They know the name of every ecosystem, every animal, every plant. They know how different connections occur, and we can just take it to the next level with those kids. But our teachers are really good, our naturalists here, our naturalist teachers are really good at reading each group's level and knowing where they need to start their teaching and how far they can push.
So they can adapt that science experience that the kids are getting
Exactly.
here. And then other than a science experience, this is a life experience for them also. You
is.
were talking a little bit about
Yeah.
that, because when 6th grade students leave, they are transformed, and these are memories that they'll retain.
Right.
I mean, when they're
Right.
in their 40s and 50s, they'll
Yeah.
still remember that week at Camp Keep.
Yeah. So we have kind of two extra things that we're doing with them, and one is just the social, emotional side of being here. They're away from home. They are busted out of their normal comfort zone. So they are learning how to interact with different people than they normally hang out with. Their normal friendship groups are here, but they might not be with that best friend that they always hang out with. So they learn how to interact with different people, different adults, different kids, and they really grow in that way. And when they go home at the end of the week, they have these amazing connections that they can build on, either for the rest of 6th grade or even going into junior high next year. And then the second part of what we do here that's so important is they really grow in their own independence. And what a lot of our parent chaperones tell us, and our teachers that come with the students tell us, is that at the end of the week, when they go back home, they have grown up and they are just more able to do things. They have conquered a mountain. They've pushed themselves to try something that they were scared of. Maybe they held a snake for the first time, went out and touched something slimy out at the beach for the first time. Maybe they had a hike that was super hard, super difficult, and they really pushed themselves and they did it.
They got through it,
Yeah,
and they adapted,
yeah.
and they changed, and everything like that.
And they'll have that memory for
Now,
always.
the learning is fun, and I know there's a
Yeah.
lot of fun and games, and maybe later on you can lead us through a song,
Maybe.
because
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of Camp Keep
There are,
songs,
there
so
are.
we'll check in a little bit
Yeah.
later on with that.
Okay, thank you.
And that, young man, is something for you to look forward to. See if you know what word I'm thinking of. Anticipate. There you go. Anticipate, right? Anticipation. You have 2 years to anticipate what's going to go on over there, but that gave you a little taste of what goes on at Camp Keep. You looking forward to that?
Yes.
All right. You know what you have to do first? More work. Back to the board. Now, you came in today saying that in 4th grade you were working with large numbers, and you
Yes.
needed to put them in order from least to greatest, greatest, least, whatever. Now let's do something a little different with them. All right? So tell Scott a large number.
220,450.
450?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right. And to that, we will add 489,768.
Just those two?
That's it.
All right.
Nico, if you would be so kind as to add those up.
Okay.
Before we move on to the next step, let's just get the 2 numbers down. All right?
Go for it.
Okay, so you always start at the 1, so
Good idea.
you can't add 0 plus 8, so, but you can't add that either.
Why can't you add 0 plus 8? We're just adding.
Oh, adding.
Yeah. There we go. Good.
5 plus 6 is 11,
Okay.
so carry the 1.
Good for you.
4, but plus the 1 is 5. 5 times 7 is 12.
Yep.
That's 2. Add the 1.
Good.
That's 1 plus 9, 10.
10.
The
you
one
carried
up
that one,
there,
good.
3 plus 8 is 11.
Good.
3 plus 4 is 7.
Good. Nice job. Where does that comma go? Nice work. Can you tell me what this number is?
710,218.
Oh, piece of cake.
And I am so glad you said 710,218 perfectly.
Yep.
Because some students will go 710,000 or 710,218.
Right.
And when you say the word and, that means you have a decimal point someplace in that number, and there isn't one in there.
Yep.
So, right next to that, Scott, you
Okay.
can leave that on the board. Let's write 740,000. And Nico, what would you like to subtract from that?
400,000.
Straight up 400,000 or 400
You want
something
some
thousand?
numbers, huh?
Yeah.
400,227.
There you go. That's a better problem.
Ah.
You do well with this one. This might be your last one today.
All right.
Okay, so
Now we come to that problem that you were talking about earlier, right?
You
We have a
can't-
0 to 7.
yeah,
do
you
it.
can't do these. So
So how far over are you going to go to borrow something?
over here.
Good.
So 3.
Yep.
This is a 10.
Uh-huh.
This
So you
Got a
made
lot
it
of
a 10.
zeros
That's fine.
now.
You made it a 10. Now we want to borrow from the 10, right?
yeah, so it's a
Okay.
9.
So it's a 9. Good. Okay. Make the next one 10.
10.
And then cross it off.
Cross it off.
No,
9.
hold on. We got to cross off this 10 and make it a 9. Now you're going to make that one a 10. Good.
And
And
then
cross off the 10 and make it a 9 and make the next one 10. That's a lot of borrowing. Okay, now you're ready to go.
10 minus 7 is 3.
Good.
9 minus 0. Oh, 10 minus 2.
Oh, this is 9. We're back to 9. You
Oh,
were right.
9 minus 2 is 7.
Yep.
9 minus 2 again is 7.
Okay, there you go.
9 minus 0 is 9.
Good.
3 minus 0 is 3.
Good.
7 minus 4 is 3.
Good. Let's hear you say this number answer perfectly.
339,773.
Nice. Good job. I like
Perfect
it. With
work.
no
Come on
and.
over here, young man. For doing some excellent work today, we are going to award you with a brand new uniform. Have you ever had a uniform before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have when you play on sports teams and things like that, right? This is your academic uniform now, all right? So what I
Okay.
need you to do is I need you to wear this every day. Can you do that?
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Good sport right there. Sure, why not? We'll wear it every day. You don't have to wear it every day, but what I'd like you to do is if you can, when you wear it and somebody goes, hey, what's up with that t-shirt? You can tell them about Do the Math,
Okay.
all right? All they have to do is call like Ruby did today. We'll help them out with their math problems. Win a meal or some tickets. Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Did you have fun today?
Yeah.
All right, good. Put it there, dude. All right. Hey, you know what? We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. Most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. Email, we're on social media, all sorts of things. And until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and the Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.